Monster Nation, that is. I'm your host, your tour guide. I'm the president. I'm the king around here. I'm the landlord, owner, tenant, janitor. I'm off the damn floor. With you, if you don't follow the rules, that's all. If you don't follow the rules are you gotta like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. If you're trying to be a taxpaying citizen of the nation, then what you want to do is leave us a super chat or a super thanks or a cash app. We actually prefer the cash app, but y'all gonna do y'all anyway. You know what I'm saying? Cash app tag gonna be in the description along with the Bandcamp link, which is there for those of you who would rather hear me rap than hear me yap. Don't be in here asking about the music, complaining about me talking after you clicked on the link that clearly suggests that I'm gonna be in here talking, yapping. Yeah, just click the link. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be it ain't in there now, but pause. But when after but after I'm done with the video, I'm gonna go edit the description and all of that, and all of that'll be in there. The Bandcamp link, which is all of the mixtapes is there, is what I was getting at. From Nonviolent Rocco all the way back to Shell Shock. It's like 8 to 10 mixtapes between there. So go get involved if you want to hear me rap. I still get busy. Um when writing on the walls here, aka leaving comments, spell things correctly. Well, not everything. You can spell what you most spell things phonetically, cool, stylized, except for the names of our dignitaries and our monuments and our legends. It's Helter Skelter, not Helter Skelter. It's Monster, not Monster. It's ROCK. You know what I mean? And it's BCC, not BBC. Pause. That's what she said. Pause protesters, get your ass out of here. The reason I even said that's what she said is because a lot of y'all don't have no problem with that's what she said, but you have a problem with pause. So is it me that has a phobia? Is it the pause practitioners that has the phobia, or you, the pause protesters? You know what I mean? We are practitioners. We practice it profusely. Professional practitioner. Anyway, salute to my bro P. So here, it's more news. More of the same. Jim Jones, the Let's Rap About It boys beefing with 50. This is all. One of the vloggers who talked about it, he raised a good point. He's like, these dudes is in their 40s and 50s. They not going to be, they most likely, I'm adding the most likely, right? They most likely not going to take it to the streets. You know what I'm saying? This is how apparently this is how they're fighting these days with, embarrassing words, saying mean things to each other on video as opposed to on raps. Salute to Chick Smooth. He he brought up the fact that we are, the world still is waiting for 50 Cent to drop some bars at Fabulous. But like I said, this all of our input as vloggers and podcasts and whatever you want to call us, our version of media, whatever. I feel like we as a whole all trying to figure it out. We probably figured out 50's move twice already, and he was like, "Oh, if they figured it out, I can't do that now. I got to do something different." You know what I'm saying? So there's that. But it appears that Jim Jones has a mole in his camp, or the Let's Rap About It guys have a mole in their camp. I ain't gonna lie. I thought to myself, I'm like, who would do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you say what you want, like about there's a lot of rumors going on about Jim right now being not tough. What up, Scarecrow? How you, bro? Salute to GMT Supreme. It's a lot of room and it's a lot of room, a lot of talk right now about Jimmy ducking that fade with Dame Dash. So a lot of his tough aura may be compromised to a certain extent. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Of course, the people in the comments going to be like, "Yo, Jim always been soft." That's what I saw in the comments on the last time I talked about it. Somehow, I still think if Jim pressed a lot of y'all will fold. But anyway, besides the point. You know what I'm saying, but that goes into my theory from my yesterday vlog. Some dudes are tough. Well, some dudes play tough. They play tough really well, because they know most people are easily intimidated. But then if they're not, then all of a sudden they. But anyway, back on track. Who's the mole? Somebody got footage of the Let's Rap About It boys in this studio. I think they got flashlights and all of that going on. You know, yeah, it's not the greatest look because I mean, even though Jim Jones has explained all of what's going on, the unrequested, the unwelcome light that they shined on Jim Jones on his studio situation, his building, talking about he ain't had no heat, he ain't had no lights and all of that. From that point on, he went public with the fact that his studio was still in construction, and he showed all of that stuff. So I feel like that worked, and at the end of the day, that worked in Son's favor. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we all go through that. Like, I mean, anybody who if you building something, you got a new space, the new space is under construction or whatever. Still, you're gonna have issues like that, or those issues are very probable. Those issues aren't to be frowned upon in under those circumstances. But somebody, so somebody showing that was still, putting the camera on them and with the flashlights and the the blowing the cold, that foggy cold air that comes out your mouth pores when when you're talking in the cold. All of that being present, that was already on the table. So that wasn't really a diss, but it was just the fact that you could see that whoever was filming this was filming it from a discreet location. Like it was kind of sneaking watch, it was kind of sneaking filming it. It was behind halfway behind the wall, this, that, and the third. Like, and this footage got into the hands of 50 Cent, and 50's out here clowning niggas. And yeah, like I said, they didn't expose nothing that the people haven't already known. But what was exposed is the fact that somebody from inside that circle is filming footage and reporting back, and that's nasty work. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Hold on a second, y'all. That is nasty work. What is we doing? How did we get here? Like for a second, y'all want to know what I thought? Oh snap! For a second, I said to myself, 50 and Fab are in cahoots. Fab did it. I was reaching, but I thought that because Fab is the one who went hardest at 50 in the on the track. Pause. You know what I mean? I was just reaching though, like, but it would somebody in that circle did it. So I'm just like, who could have, who could it have been? Like, usually when you are a rapper or a celebrity or whatever, and you got people, you got people around you, entourage type people. Those ain't they don't a lot of times they don't want to take no risk like that. They lose their spot next to the shine, next to the light, next to the money or whatever. Like they not going. I don't know. I don't really think it was Fab, but I mean, if it would be funny if niggas is in cahoots, is all I'm saying. Because niggas be in cahoots. All this drama don't be real. What's messed up about all of this drama and it not being real is it be people in the streets, behind the wall, whatever, choosing up, taking this drama dead ass serious, choosing up and really, and really getting in real physical smoke behind some drama that might be made up. And as you heard, I don't like that. That's you know what I'm saying. So whatever it is, it's interesting. It's quite interesting. You know what I mean? It's quite, yeah. I ain't with all that. Second on the table of contents, Cam and his boys from, Cam has a few platforms. I don't know the names of all of his, respectfully, I don't know the names of all of his shows. But, he got the It Is What It Is with Mace. He got the Talk with Flea. He might got something else. You know what I'm saying? But the joint he got with the two light skinned heavy set dudes is, well, I don't know, but anyway, it's I just don't remember their names right now. But he was on that show, and they was talking about Dame's situation, being with his his movie catalog or his film company or whatever it was being auctioned off for $150. And they was talking spicy. They was joking, laughing and joking about the situation. And Dame responded, and he's popping it. You know what I'm saying? And he definitely, the gloves is off as far as Dame goes. I don't know. Yeah, as far as Dame goes, the gloves is off. He said, y'all want to laugh about whatever y'all. I'm paraphrasing. Y'all want to laugh about whatever y'all want to laugh about. Ask your man, Fredo. He refers to Cam as Fredo now, in case you don't understand. Apparently, it's a Godfather a reference. I didn't see the Godfathers. Um, Hate all you want in the comments. Um, I mean, I seen parts of it, but I didn't see the whole thing. But it's a Godfather reference. It calls Cameron Fredo. It's a reference to him being a snake. Going against the family, going against the grain. You know what I mean? But he said, ask Fredo why he let somebody punch him in the face and he ain't do nothing. Yeah, that's crazy. Cause it's like just when I don't know. I think after with the whole footage that the footage that showed that Freaky Zeke leaked with the the Jim Jones Dame Dash almost fight. You know, people people already have people have already had their preconceived notions of Cam and Jim. You know what I mean? And like it was true. It has been argued that when people call Jim soft, they like yo. When Cam point out all of the altercations that he might have got and the ones that he worked out peacefully, like how him and Mano used to have smoke with each other. You know what I'm saying? But they cool now. But it's been pointed out that it's like yo, all of that beef that Jim had was a lot of these situations was out of those were on the strength of Jim protecting Cam or defending Cam or riding for Cam. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of I guess what I'm saying is the perception may be to some people that Jim might, or may have been that Jim might be whatever you think about Jim. You might have believed that he was the live wire while Cam wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like Jim might be soft, but he tougher than Cam. Maybe with, I mean, I've heard people with that kind of, with that kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? But since what happened, the footage went public about with Jim and Dame and all of that, I've heard people, that made Jim look bad and by default made Cam look a little better. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Cam is handling his situation the way he handling the situation. He's the more mature, the grown one. Ain't nobody thinking about his losses. His losses ain't all the way back. I mean, his losses ain't on camera like that, I guess. But Dame made sure he pointed out the fact that somebody stole on camera and he did nothing. And he wants his homeboys to ask him, I guess publicly, why he didn't do anything. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, the disrespect is at on a level of scale of 1 to 10, the disrespect is at a good solid 11 right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I hope niggas is in cahoots. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, made it to the end of this video. Let me get 4 microphones. Rock on, rock on.